The NFL has seen some wildly talented players over the years. It has also seen those same talented players do some outrageous things. These are the funniest moments in NFL history.
Vernon Davis, who thought he was all the way to the 49-yard line before he goes out of bounds.
There's a pigeon on the field. How did he get in there?
When the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted Jameis Winston first overall, they expected him to become the star of the franchise. But his career never really panned out there, and we believe that he didn't have the leadership qualities to succeed as an NFL quarterback. In this particular game, he was trying to get his teammates pumped up with a little pregame pep talk where he asked his teammates who wants to eat a W. What does that even mean, Jameis? The underwhelming reaction earned the Florida State product a spot in our video. Jameis' career was definitely one of the more disappointing ones of our highly touted prospects. Others have underperformed too, and gotten laughed at along the way. Speaking of quarterbacks that never lived up to their potential, remember Mark Sanchez? Of course you do, and for all the wrong reasons. His most infamous play during his lousy NFL career is known as the butt fumble. Some quarterbacks have trouble evading other teams' defenses. Sanchez couldn't even evade his own teammates. During his famous butt fumble, he ran right into his lineman's ass, dropped the ball, and it got returned the other way for a touchdown. Just pathetic. Next is a quarterback who is still finding his way in the NFL and almost made the play of his life before doing something so funny it came in at number 18 in our video. New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones looked pretty good when he took off against the Eagles. He seemed to be off to the races for a 90-yard touchdown run until he trips over the 20-yard line. What the hell? Who put that there? Ouch! Jones got a face full of turf. He's done a pretty good job in New York though, especially considering he had to take the reins from one of the best quarterbacks in Giants history, Eli Manning. Meanwhile, Eli was up to some hilarious antics of his own. After Eli Manning retired, he wasn't quite ready to give up on football, so he went in disguise as a student at Penn State University and tried out for their football team as an overaged walk-on. Though his 40-yard dash time left a lot to be desired, he did manage to impress the coaching staff in other areas. Boy, could Chad Powers throw a deep ball. Manning, who looked like he showed up for the tryout straight out of a 70s time machine, put on an incredible performance showing off NFL quarterback skills as well as Hollywood acting ability. Go get him, Chad. Eli Manning is pretty funny, but his brother Peyton might have been even funnier. Peyton Manning is known for making complicated sounding play calls at the line. He ran more audibles in his NFL career than likely any other player ever. And one of his most frequent calls at the line was Omaha. He was asked at a press conference what Omaha meant. He responded by giving a long explanation that left everyone listening with more confusion than clarity. It was just one example of Peyton being one of the funniest personalities in NFL history. You know what's even funnier than Peyton Manning? The fact that you are watching this video and still haven't subscribed to our channel. What's up with that? Just pound the subscribe button and get it over with. And check out this next prima donna who probably had the funniest interview I've ever seen. Terrell Owens was as talented as they come, but the receiver was notorious for being overly dramatic. And he had the tendency to clash with his quarterbacks as well. Owens had a bad falling out with Jeff Garcia in San Francisco and then couldn't get along with Donovan McNabb in Philadelphia either. So when the Cowboys got eliminated in 2007 and Tony Romo was getting blamed, T.O. wanted to show how much of a team player he was and how much he loved his new quarterback. So he cried about the scrutiny that Romo was receiving in the post-game press conference. It's not that seeing a grown man cry is funny, cause it's not, but when Terrell Owens cries about blaming quarterbacks, it sure is. If you find whiny receivers funny, then you'll probably love this next player's antics. Antonio Brown was another troublemaker, but he was also one of the most talented players ever. And when he returned a punt against the Colts back in 2015, no one was going to catch him. Brown ran all the way into the end zone before flying right into the field goal post crotch first to celebrate. Ouch! A lot of people can't stand Antonio Brown, but we find his antics outrageous. That's why he got 2 straight spots in our video. On this play, Antonio Brown caught another punt and took off. He beached the whole Browns defense and only had to fly by this helpless punt, Spencer landing before he could cruise in for a touchdown. But instead of flying by him or even over him, Brown throws a flying kick right at the punter's chin. The play was completely unnecessary, but pretty hilarious if you ask me. Antonio Brown's ninja kick was something else, but the next player on our list likely had the funniest touchdown dances in league history. Chad Johnson, who legally changed his name to Chad Ochocinco despite the NFL, was an amazing receiver. but he may have been more famous for his touchdown celebrations than his actual football skills. His dances were hilarious. Fans would come to watch football games just to see what he would do next. And his favorite in-game celebration was when he got on one knee and proposed to a cheerleader after scoring a touchdown. Real smooth, Chad. Chad's celebration was television friendly, but our player at number 11 got in a bit of trouble for doing a not so family friendly touchdown celebration. Randy Moss was another unbelievable wide receiver in the NFL. I don't know what it is about receivers that make them the most entertaining players. Maybe it's because they score so many touchdowns. Either way, during the wildcard playoff game in 2004, Randy Moss celebrated a touchdown that went down in the history books. After catching a deep ball and scoring, he taunted the Packers fans by pretending to pull down his pants and moon the crowd. It was one of the funniest and most epic touchdown dances in NFL history. Moss lost some fans due to his bad attitude as a player, but at least one fan adored him. Randy Moss makes our video again, but this time with a funny fan interaction in the year 2009. In a game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, one fan brought a Randy Moss mask to the game and was impersonating the superstar in the crowd. You know who loved it more than anyone? Randy Moss, who didn't only laugh but he engaged with the audience back and forth. Receivers tend to hog the spotlight, but that doesn't mean that other players aren't creative as well. Travis Kelce might not be a wide receiver, but he participated in a touchdown pass that was just as good as any. After scoring against the Dallas Cowboys in 2017, he and his teammates lined up for a playful imitation of the potato sack race. All the wide receivers fell and Kelce came out as the winner. Well done. We love when the whole team gets in on the celebration. The thought of these guys practicing a routine like that cracks me up. Let's check out another team touchdown celebration at number 8. The Pittsburgh Steelers combined for a team touchdown dance as well after scoring against the Bengals in 2017. The Steelers offense celebrated with a little game of hide and go seek. I guess when you have such a potent offense, regular touchdowns just get boring after a while. It's not just offensive stars that know how to celebrate. Sometimes when linemen get their chance, they can be even funnier. During the 2010 NFL Championship game, Raji surprised everyone when he got an interception and ran it back for a touchdown. He surprised everybody even more with his dance skills during his touchdown celebration. Raji wasn't a wide receiver, he was a defensive lineman who weighed 338 pounds and he was moving his hips like Shakira after this funny victory dance. Clearly, we've seen a lot of funny celebrations, but I don't think anyone interviewed as hilariously as this next player. Marshawn Lynch, also known as Beast Mode, was one of the most hilarious players in the entire league. His antics went beyond the football field and into the post-game press conferences where he absolutely hated speaking to the media. Unfortunately for Lynch, there was a clause in his contract that stated that part of his obligations included answering media questions. So he would get fined when he didn't show up. When his team went to the Super Bowl and he was expected to respond to questions on media day, the running back responded to every question by stating, "I'm just here so I won't get fined." It's pretty funny how the guy with the least interest in interviews turned out to be the media and fan favorite by just being himself on screen. That wasn't the only Lynch moment that made us laugh. The guy was a legend on and off the field. At number 5, we check out someone who was trying to get pretty close to some NFL players, but not this close. Sometimes you're just caught at the wrong place at the wrong time, and that is exactly what happened to the Vikings sound guy in a particular game during the 2011 NFL season. For whatever reason, the sound editor decided to try to quickly run across the entrance as the Minnesota Vikings were running onto the field, and just by luck of the draw, their defensive lineman Linval Joseph, who weighs 330 pounds, was leading the pack. Joseph stampeded over the sound guy like he wasn't even there. Dude got annihilated. Worst part is, none of the Viking players even helped him up. Oh, come on, guys. They just kept stampeding to the field like a pack of buffaloes. Talk about a bad day at the office. NFL players clearly don't give a damn. But up next, we take a look at a player who took not giving a damn to a whole other level. Green Bay Packers defensive end Mike Daniels might have gotten a little too fired up after making a tackle in the backfield against the Ravens. He clearly pissed his pants on the field. And he doesn't seem to care at all either. Just walking about like pissing your pants is the coolest thing to do. If only we could have just half his self-confidence. What a savage. Pissing yourself in front of millions of people has got to be embarrassing. But he's not the only player to embarrass himself on the field. 2015 was an absolutely dreadful year for the Detroit Lions. They went 0-16. That's right, they didn't win a single game. And this brain-dead play by Dan Orlovski was a representation of how bad this Lions team was. He took a snap in his own end zone and runs right out the back for a safety while having no clue he even did. The quarterback looked completely lost out there. Apparently, Orlovski still gets asked about this hilarious play every day of his life. And I'd love to hear how he answers those questions. Jeez, what was Orlovski thinking? The first thing you need to know is where the hell you are on the field. This next player didn't know where he was either. DeSean Jackson had an impressive career. He was famous for making big-time plays wherever he went. But in 2008 against the Cowboys, he made a major bonehead play. He beat his defender and McNabb caught him with a perfect pass. Right before Jackson is about to cross the goal line for a touchdown, he drops the ball as if he doesn't know the damn rules of the game. To make matters worse, he proceeded to dance like a complete buffoon in the end zone, not realizing he might have just made the dumbest mistake in football history. Whoops. Finally, we have the gong show that occurred in Indianapolis that had us all gasping for air. Last but not least, we have an absolutely head-scratcher of a play call. On 4th and 3 against the Patriots in 2015, the coaching staff called an absolutely peculiar trick play that was bound to flop before the ball was even snapped. To start, the team lined up in an obviously illegal formation, so no matter what they did wasn't going to be successful. But they proceeded to line punt return specialist Griff Whalen all by himself under center with absolutely no one blocking for him. Immediately after the ball got snapped, poor little Whalen got absolutely pummeled by Patriots defenders as the refs simultaneously threw all their flags on the field as if to say, "Get that garbage out of here." The play goes down as the most ridiculous and hilarious play call we have ever seen. Those were the funniest plays in NFL history. Now go ahead, be smart, like and subscribe to our channel. Also, check out the video up on your screen right now for more great NFL-related content. Thanks for watching.